Took me a little bit to get to this one because the initial video that I made for this ended up getting corrupted, so then I had to format everything and I lost the footage. So now I'm gonna have to do this again. This is fun. I got to see this little film called Tag, which is an interesting little comedy that most of you have probably heard of or seen because of the marketing campaign, where they emphasize that such a strange plot, which is a few grown men who meet up at just for 1 month out of every year just to play the children's game of tag. I mean, this could have only been made into a movie if it were based off of a real group of friends, which it is. And I'm not going to go into my pro or con list because I don't really think that I have enough to justify that, as well as the fact that I didn't really need to look at this from the eyes of a film critic. And I got to see this 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago with my wife and my best friend, so I had a little group to go with me, and honestly, we had a wonderful time. First, I want to go ahead and get the issues that I had with Tag out of the way. And I will admit, in the first video that I did of this, I actually complained about a nitpick that I had, and I've looked back on it, and I realized I'm an idiot, and I really shouldn't have been complaining about it, and it really made the video way too long, like, to justify itself, because it's just me bitching about one small thing. But I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to point out that I'm basically, you know, if I find some reason to complain, I'll try, and then later I'll regret it. So the two actual issues that I had with the movie involve acting and a little bit of the story. First off, one of the main guys, who's played by Jeremy Renner, is getting married during the film to this woman named Susan, who's played by Leslie Bibb. And I'm going to go ahead and admit, I don't like Leslie Bibb very much. She's not a bad actress, it's just that it's the way that she portrays some characters makes her come across as what's the word? Basically not genuine. I'm forgetting the word. Misingenuous? I don't English very well today, do I? Her character is written as this controlling, kind of unstable bitch, and I do get why they went for that, I really do. But I don't know, it was just the way that Bibb portrayed her, which was way too over the top enough for me to take. She took me out of the film with every scene that she was in, including the first one. It didn't even take 3 seconds before I was just like, I don't like you. I want you off. Please get off the screen. Oh wait, it's a screen. I'm in a movie theater. What the fuck is going on? Okay, I don't get it. I don't get that immersed in a movie. Example. And I kept thinking throughout, it's like, okay, her fiance is really awesome, and I'll even talk a little bit more about him later. But I kept thinking, what the hell do you see in this woman? I mean, the relationship made no sense to me, even from a fantastical sense. And that made me sad because there's another couple in the movie that in some ways in real life maybe wouldn't work, but they establish their chemistry early on so that you really see why they love each other and why they're together. So then when the crazy shit starts going on, it just comes across as charming and kind of cute. And the second complaint is a cliche that happens with a lot of comedies, where the transition between the the second act and the third act, and sometimes somewhere in the last 20 minutes of the film, becomes really serious, and it can make the pace a little wobbly, which it is a definite issue with Tag. And now on to the positives. This film was awesome. It's so funny. Other than the moments that I mentioned above, this movie is just non-stop laughs, and every main character gets a chance to make you, like, to stand out at least five or six times each. Of course, there are a few people who get a little bit more, and I will say that notably Isla Fisher and Hannibal Buress are the highlights of the film for me when it comes to the humor. I really don't know which one I prefer. I just know that both of them had me rolling in my chair, trying to breathe. They were so funny. And just, I don't know, I don't think that there wasn't anything that they said or did that I didn't laugh at. And the rest of the acting overall is superb. I mean, I could really feel like the guys, Jake Johnson, Ed Helms, John Hamm, Hannibal Buress, Jeremy Renner, I felt like all of these guys had been lifelong friends, And really, when you take the acting part out of it, you could tell that the actors were just having fun doing this ridiculous shit. I loved it. As far as my favorite player in the game of tag, Jeremy Renner's Jerry character was such a badass. The first part of the film just has a few of the characters building up just how awesome he is, and, you know, just this vision of him being untouchable. And then when they actually show him in his first session of playing tag with them, you really see he is the fucking best. He's never gotten caught. 30 years and he has never been tagged, and that's amazing. And the way that they set up his scenes where everybody else is trying to tag him, the filmmakers obviously took inspiration from the Guy Ritchie version of Sherlock, and it works really well. With comedies, the story doesn't always matter. I mean, it does, but not for the entertainment value. Most people don't go to a comedy to get, like, a great story. They just go because they want something to make them laugh. And what matters is that the humor works with tag, and as I've mentioned a couple of times, it consistently works throughout the film. But what really felt great about this movie was the theming around friendship. Not only did they play the game just to keep feeling young, and they also did it to keep each other in, to keep each other in their lives, or keep themselves in each other's lives. I don't know how to word that. Because normally, like, a lot of you, I'm sure, know, after high school, people move on to other places, they stay out of contact, because it's like, it's a lot harder to initiate conversation, especially when you're not near, and sometimes there's not much to talk about, and it's just easier, and I know that because I'm guilty of this, especially because everybody that I know is on the other side of the country from me. And I'm sure that many of you are also guilty of all of that as well. And this thing meant a lot to me because a close friend of ours that my wife has known since childhood visited recently. And when she left, you definitely felt a difference, because it's great to be near those that you love, and then when they go back and they just so happen to be like over 12 hours away, and you can't go see them on a regular basis, it kind of sucks. And now she's come up with this idea for me and my wife, her and my best friend Thomas, to start co-writing a story together. Not really for real, but like just for fun. And it sounds corny, but honestly, though we've only been in the planning process so far, it's been a lot of fun. It just makes us consistently talk to each other, and it feels nice, so that's part of the reason why tag spoke to me. And those are all my thoughts on tag. I know that there's little to no substance in this review, but I just thought, you know, I should share my thoughts with you guys. But tag, like I said, is an entertaining, fun time at the theater with just a couple of issues, and I recommend it to anybody who just wants to go out for a movie night with close friends, because that's definitely the best way to watch with a group of friends. And that's where I will end this review. Actually, I'm feeling a little sick. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video. I'll see you guys later. Cool.